Friday, September 27th. Quick note, I will be gone Monday and 7th period Tuesday. We're going to complete lesson 3.1 as a warm-up as part of our entry task, which we so often do. As for what we're trying to accomplish today, in order to decide which geologic process formed the channel on Mars, reminding you it's either flowing water or flowing lava, students review the evidence they've gathered so far, all the cards, all the models you've used, the stream table, documents, the handouts that you've recorded evidence on. That's why I asked you to keep them. And you're going to analyze and interpret new evidence. You're going to get a photograph, or actually two photographs, of a triangle-shaped landform, along with information about possible system interactions that caused it, going back to things like atmosphere, hydrosphere, biosphere, geosphere. From that, we're going to start constructing an argument more and more every day. So be sure, before you leave, that you've organized the evidence cards in the evidence gradient. We'll make sure we go over what that is and how we use that tool. Make sure you choose a claim that supports how you arranged your evidence cards. And changing your mind is appropriate. Okay, what we want to be careful of is bias. We don't want to guard against our desire to be right and be afraid to change our mind. Changing your mind is a sign of learning and growth and is a strength, not a weakness. Maybe we ought to share that information with some of our politicians. I used all the models in the unit to gather evidence about the Mars channel. Okay, all the models we do that help us gather evidence and learn about the model, about the actual channel. We want to make use of those. So, item breakdown. Step 1, the entry task. Step 2, we're arranging cards on the gradient. We're going over how to do that. Then I'm going to have you report out on our new whiteboards on the wall. And then step 3, you're taking a look at the new evidence cards, discussing your table, and responding to the final question to see if that gives us new information. Here's an example of what you might report out on the whiteboard. Each one of those letters represents the evidence card and where you would place it on your evidence gradient at your table. Notice how people are putting them in different locations. They're not identical. These are an example of 2 classes. There's, I believe, at least between 8 and 16 groups in every classroom. So we need to kind of look at some general patterns, hash out differences. That's all part of science argumentation. Our class wall is getting massive. It's growing and growing with all the new things that we do. Most of the things that are on there are the artifacts and the evidence from developing the argument. We want to keep all these things in mind, fresh in our head as we build our argument. And that is our lesson 3.1.